Hey everyone, welcome back to the Board of Advisors podcast. I'm your host, Dillon England. Today we have an amazing guest who I just met, and we were just laughing about coffee and ice cream and billion-dollar deals. And so this is just going to be a great conversation. Today on the podcast, we have Robert Creamer, who's been in the business for 21 plus years, right? Closed over $500 million in commercial real estate. And today we're going to learn about his story, and we're going to learn about kind of what's going on in the real estate world.
Awesome.
Welcome on the Board of Advisors podcast.
Thank you.
First question, I ask this a lot, is tell me a little bit about your business, just to kind of give us like an idea of like what you guys do.
Okay. Yeah. So 7 Streams Commercial Group, we rebranded. That was our name. And if you ever know, picking a name is obviously challenging.
The worst.
So
yes.
We went through like 15 different names and we landed on that. And 7s.life is our website. And people always ask like, what the hell is 7 Streams? Well, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So we thought that worked well. And so far it has. But as far as business goes, when I started, I didn't really have any coaches or mentors or anything. They pretty much said there's a desk and a phone. Good luck. That was it. So I didn't know what to do. Started cold calling, hated cold calling. So I figured, why the heck am I doing that? Why don't I use the army of realtors that's already all around me? And so what I focused on was going after relationships with realtors and getting the referrals. So if anybody said, hey, I have a commercial lead, who can I talk to? I raised my hand. And so by default, I became a generalist in the industry. But what that did for me was it allowed me to run an office, do group coaching, do one-on-one coaching, because I'd had a breadth of knowledge in almost every asset class by closing deals. It made me a really good coach because I could kind of navigate the process through all the asset classes with these mentees. On a day-to-day basis, we're doing acquisitions, dispositions, tenant rep, you name it. We work in about 14 states, but our main hub is here in DFW in Austin.
Why did you get into commercial real estate versus residential?
Well, I got my degree from North Texas, and they did a really good job. We had a really great instructor going through, and a lot of it was more for personal. Like, you guys need to know this for your future life, but it leaned on the investment side, which I liked. And then when I got started, since I didn't know what I was doing, I did try residential for about 2 months. And, we walked into a door with a client and it had blue carpet and blue wallpaper. I mean, it was like a Smurf house. It was terrible. But they literally wouldn't even walk in the house. They said that I'm getting a headache just looking at it. And I said, okay, what do you want to do? And they didn't want to go in the house. That was it for me. I was like, look,
I'm not.
Well, for a house, to me, it was always layout, location, price.
Yes.
Everything else can be changed. The price is fantastic. Rip everything else out, redo it. So I didn't like that. And I leaned into commercial after that, never looked back. And to this day, I hate residential.
What was, when you leaned into commercial, what was one of those like first wins? You know how an entrepreneur starts, you're grinding, you're like, what the heck am I doing? What was one of that first win for you that was like, holy crap, like I might actually be able to make it?
Yeah, so the first win was I hadn't quite gone after the realtors, or I just started to, and I said, okay, who the hell am I going to call? Well, I was in a fraternity, so I thought, okay, let me call the alumni. So I got the alumni list, started calling the alumni. One of them invests heavily in real estate. He said, hey, if you find something that makes sense, let me know. I spent probably 10 hours on LoopNet, CoStar, just digging around looking for any options. And we finally found one. It was a warehouse, actually pretty close to here. And it was 100,000 square feet.
Dang.
For $28 a foot. And so we closed that $2.8 million deal. It was my first large deal. And I was like, holy crap, this is amazing. I was so excited. I was like 25 years old, 26. Yeah, it was amazing.
That was a decent check for a 25-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, 47,000 or something like that.
Right.
It was fantastic. Yeah, I loved it. So I was hooked. I'm a lifer. I love the industry. Not only are you helping tenants because they have a need, they got to get into space to operate their business and make money, but also people are trying to offset their taxes by buying commercial real estate or, buy a building for their operation. It's just, and what I do like is you get to learn about all these different businesses. You get to see their P&Ls and their financials, and it's very educational, and it's been great.
What's a lesson that you've learned over 21 years that you know now that you wish you would have known when you started?
We all should have bought everything we possibly could 20 years ago. I mean, holy shit. I mean, the reality is if you can hold on to real estate, you're always going to win. We always think that price is too high, but everything's not slowing down.
Yeah.
It's continuing. So as soon as you are able, start buying real estate as fast as you can.
What is the market like right now for commercial investing?
It's a little bit challenging due to the interest rates because a lot of the people are still trying to sell in the 5 or 6 caps. And with interest rates at 7 means you got to put not 25, which was traditionally back in the day the target. Now we're at 35 to 40% to put down, which makes the cash flow a little offset. There's still some opportunity, but most of these guys are looking for opportunistic, meaning massive value add, and they're really hedging to make sure their risk profile and stress test is on point. So the investors, it's been a little bit challenging there, but the users, they still need space, so they're moving pretty good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What do you just like? What you mentioned, kind of almost being like you get in to know the business owner. You really kind of dig into the P&Ls and that kind of stuff. Like, what do you love most about commercial real estate right now? Like, what kind of gets you up in the morning that gets you excited?
I mean, like, I'm a relationship person. I still, I know AI has got a great place in our future industry and a lot of industries, but the face-to-face time, I think it, just seeing people's passion and their goals and their vision, especially with the bigger players, it's a different conversation, which is, why I got into BA to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, proximity and relationships, and it's been great. I mean, building my business, you meet so many affluent people and learning, okay, well, how did you start? When did you start? Why did you start? And here we are now. How the hell did you get here? And it's really motivating to learn their stories and what kind of gets them up in the morning themselves. And what I do love about commercial real estate, the sky's the limit. And insider trading is legal.
Right. What something that's interesting. So like we had an investor that we were looking to buy a building in Detroit, which, by the way, Detroit taxes are terrible.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like, what are we talking?
I don't know, but it was so bad that like this guy owns a mall in Alabama, and he would pay more taxes for a small building in Detroit than the whole mall in Alabama. So he just is like, I'm not doing it. Well, but it's crazy. Learned that the hard way. One of the things that I learned, which is crazy, is like on residential real estate, you have to disclose like what's wrong with the house.
Yes.
You don't have to do that in commercial. Is that the case?
Yeah, it's much more of a gray area.
Right.
I mean, residential has so many more regulations, and here in Texas, I mean, it's kind of crazy because even TREC, which is our Texas Real Estate Commission, the board, they make all the rules and enforce the rules.
Yeah.
Well, if you read it, it pretty much says if you're buying a 1 to 4 family, you need to be protected because higher probability of you're less educated. If you're buying 5+ or commercial, you're more business oriented and you're probably more sophisticated, so we have less regulation. I mean, it says that in so many words, but it doesn't spit it out, right?
Wild.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So we do live in a gray area. We can. I've been a broker since 2011, and yeah, you don't. I mean, when you go to if I sent you information on a building, your job is to do the evaluation.
Right.
I can provide
but
a list of everything wrong.
It's up to the buyer to do their due diligence.
Absolutely.
Right. You have to do due diligence period. And
every state's a little bit different. They have different regulations. I mean, like California is pretty easy because they must disclose everything. Full disclosure state. In Texas, we're non-disclosure.
Right.
So they don't, like when we close deals or lease properties, we don't have to disclose to anybody. So people are like, well, what are the comparables? Well, I mean, if you look at the comps, there's no price tag.
Yeah.
So
that's wild.
It makes it tough.
Yeah. Is that do you like that, or do you wish it was?
Yes and no. No, because it makes my job harder. But yes, if you're an owner, you don't have to disclose what it sold for. So hopefully the taxing authority won't see the price tag, and they always raise it. They know it's sold, but they don't always know exactly what it's sold for.
That's crazy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we learned the hard way because we had to do like a bunch of like soil testing and phase 1, phase 2.
Yeah, they got to do it.
Yeah, and that's what killed us.
Yeah, I mean, when they do the environmental, they just look for slopes. Is there a gas station nearby, or they have industrial manufacturing, anything leaching into the soil? Because some of that stuff's pretty crazy. We had one building, it wasn't a big building. It was like 3 or 4 million. We were trying to buy it for a user, and the prior owner was cleaning printers. So they use chlorinated solvents. And if you look at it, every chemical has a shelf life. It could be 6 months, could be a month, could be 10 years. This was 10,000 years. Like, what? And it leached into the soil. So that's uninsurable, unloanable. Couldn't buy it.
So like one thing I've never understood, and maybe you could help me with this, like, why does it matter? Like, is it if you touch the soil, you're going to die? Like
it's just a risk they don't want to deal with.
Gotcha.
If there's any potential harm to humans,
they don't even want to touch it.
No. Like we closed on an apartment complex in East Dallas, and the lender sent out people to do an investigation, put their eyes on the property, see if there's any health safety issues. And literally the sidewalk had a chunk of about 4 feet that was just gone. How the hell does that happen? But it was just concrete, dirt, concrete. Like someone just literally picked up a
chunk of the sidewalk. Yeah.
And they said that was a life safety issue and they wouldn't lend on it. I'm like, but how is that a life safety issue?
Could you have guys poured a new slab and then they would loan it?
Yeah. So that's what we had to do.
That's wild.
But it's just some weird stuff. I mean, they're putting a lot more rules and pulling the reins in quite a bit, which makes it challenging.
Nationwide or just in Texas?
I'm assuming nationwide.
Yeah. That's really interesting. For someone that is looking to get in commercial real estate for the first time, what are some of the like do's and don'ts? Like what are the things you look for in a good investment? What are the things you should stay away from?
As in getting into brokerage or getting into buying?
No, actually buying. Yeah, like someone that wants to invest for the first time. Maybe they've done really well in the stock market and they're looking to like diversify their portfolio. Like what are generally good things to look for in a commercial property investment? And what are things that's kind of like red flags?
I mean, they got to look at a lot of deals. If they've never seen the financials on a commercial real estate asset, they really need to start digesting, let's say 5, 10, 20 of them and just get an understanding of this is what I'm looking at. This is the potential. And that's when a good broker can help you. So I've never done it. So, we'll send them 5 options and say, this is why this is good. This is the struggle. This is the risk. This is the upside. This is what you're looking at. This is the probability of this happening with the amount of money you have and you want to spend. This is kind of what we're looking at. So, I mean, if you have a good advisor, they should kind of break that down and give you a really good understanding of, okay, this is year 1, this is year 5. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, what doesn't make sense? Let's go through it. Because it's different.
Well, it sounds like step 1 is just finding a good broker.
Yes.
Right? Like
yes. And it's never the company, it's the person.
Yes.
I mean, when I send referrals out, it is never, and same with if you need a mentor or anything in the industry, it's never the company, it's always a person.
Yeah.
Or a
That's
group.
true.
Like that's why I'm here at BA.
Right. I mean, like the biggest Quicken Loans is out of Michigan, right?
Yeah.
And so Quicken Loans has a love-hate. Like a lot of people either love them or hate them in Michigan. It's a very polarizing company as far as like users. But like I had a friend that worked there. Great experience. You get someone else, might not be a great experience. And same company.
Yeah.
But people matters.
We get people all the time because my broker license is hung under EXP commercial, and we get that all the time. Well,
we
had a bad experience in California. I'm like, what?
It's completely different people.
You got good people and bad people. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I actually just interviewed the CEO of a company called Samson Properties. They're one of the largest real estate companies out of Virginia. Yeah. And that was just it's like 6,000 agents. Like it's
called Samsung?
Samson Properties. Okay. Yeah. So that dude's, they're killing it. They're growing like wildflower. Wildflower?
Hey,
well, maybe. Hey. Flower could be wild. Yeah. One of the things that I've always wondered is how, in your opinion, how important is it to, like, let's say somebody did want to start a coffee shop.
Yeah.
How important is it for them to try to move hell or high water to own their own building versus rent? And what are the pros and cons of doing that?
It really depends on their financial situation and their risk profile. Because some people they can't jump that hurdle of owning, and it's scary. And that's one of the reasons people don't invest in commercial real estate, because they lean into residential or multifamily first because it makes sense.
Yeah.
I live in a house. I know the mechanics. It makes sense, right? I can just fire someone or get them in the apartment or whatever it is. Commercial scary. It's unknown. We don't understand the commission structure. 5-year lease. What do we do? But as far as the lease purchase, I mean, we just break it down for them. And if we don't know if they're going to be overly successful, it's their first venture in this business, that all comes into play. Now, I encourage them to buy if it's a fantastic opportunity, and I can show them why via cost seg, the tax write-off, everything else. But sometimes leasing just makes more sense.
Yeah.
Depending on what they want to
do. Cash flow, opportunity, right.
Yeah. And it also depends on, we don't know the future growth. What if we just start with 1,500 square feet just as a trial? And they say, you know what, we actually want seating and we want X, Y, and Z into the shop. We need 3,000. Okay, well, glad we didn't buy it because that would have sucked.
Yeah, because then you would have had to sell or you'd be stuck.
Yep.
It just sounds like it just goes down to just having a really good strategy.
Yeah,
from the beginning.
You just got to understand the game plan. That's why when we first interview people, I always say, okay, what's the end game here? Why are we doing this? And let's work backwards. Yeah.
If you've done a lot of business with probably some pretty successful investors, what would you say is like a characteristic trait for the wildly successful investors that you've noticed?
They have a full team behind them. So unlike what people may think, the larger the deal, generally speaking, the less we actually work. Because the investors who are looking at the 50, 100, 150 million dollar assets, they don't need us. Our job is to connect the dots.
Huh.
I mean, they say, this is what we want. This is our buy box. Go find it. And, there's no loyalty.
Yeah.
They have 15 people looking around the country.
Yep. Kind of
Whoever
first
finds an opportunity, they're going to look at it. You can do your own evaluation, but they're like, thank you for that. But their team does all the due diligence. They rip it apart, and then they come to everything else. And our job basically is, look, how can we support you? How can we help? We're here for you. Yeah, we closed a $64.5 million deal, and it was literally me just checking in every 2 weeks. It took 18 months, but
it's amazing how
it's kind of nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest, 2 questions to wrap up, biggest risk in commercial investing as from an investor? What's the biggest risk? The follow-up question to that is, what in order of priority, like if you're, and I know you're not a financial advisor, this is just friend conversation. In order of importance of like trying to create a really healthy portfolio, where would you rank commercial real estate investing as a priority?
It should be very high.
Okay, that question got answered. Yes. So very high. Yes. First question, what are the big risks that people either maybe don't know or aren't ready for, like something that they should think through?
I mean, some people just jump in without doing their proper evaluation, and they're trusting the wrong broker. I mean, unfortunately, like you said, we have good people and bad people, and some of the bad ones, they just don't do their due diligence, and they will say whatever they need to say to get the sale, to get the money, instead of being an advocate for their client and saying, look, this is the risk. If you understand it, want to move forward, great. But I need you to fully understand what could happen. Because right now with the interest rates, if something happens, if you buy wrong, you're in trouble day one. So unless you have a team in place or a game plan to get that, either the ship turned up right side and you're moving the right direction, it can go south pretty quick. We're talking big numbers. Yeah. So you just got to have the right advisor to really advise you and understand what you're buying and where the risk is.
Is there a risk? Because what I've heard a lot, now this is true, is one of the safety nets of residential investing, right? Like single family homes or whatever, easier to sell. One of the biggest risks of you could get a commercial property, and when it comes time to sell, there's no buyer. Is that a potential risk that you've seen in the industry?
I mean, not right now. I mean, look at the industry right now. I mean, the residential sales have gone down considerably. It's due to the interest rates. I mean, people have more equity in their homes right now than we've ever seen. With interest rates, anywhere from 2.5% to 4%, they don't want to sell it and go buy at 7%. So it can happen on both sides of the fence. Yeah. I mean, stuff still, even when the times we're at their toughest, product is still moving. So it just becomes a factor of motivation and then risk.
Yeah. To wrap up, what do you think is you're most proud of what your team brings to the table?
I mean, unlike the big boys, we're pretty nimble. We can move pretty quick and we respond fast. One of the biggest issues of our industry is people just suck at responding. They don't email you back. By the way,
that's not industry exclusive.
Shit. They don't call back. They don't text you back. It takes weeks to sometimes months. And, being in the industry for a while, it has helped because I got name recognition. So people pick the phone up and they'll answer me and respond. But we have residential agents or agents that are new calling these companies all the time. And they're like, no one will call me back. And I'm like, well, they don't want to.
Yeah.
Right. Because one thing the big boys do is they try and sell things to their immediate clientele, then their office, then the company, where we blast it out to everybody day one. We don't want an internal. We spread it out. We're quick. We care. And we get the job done.
Where can people find you?
At 7s.life, or they can email me at creamer@7s.life. I'm sure you can share my number or whatever in the description and everything. But we mainly work in Dallas and Austin. We do cover Houston and San Antonio on a case by case. And then we also handle out of state on a case by case. We've done about 14 different states. Unfortunately, we don't want to do California, Chicago, or New York. We stay out of those markets, but any other market, depending on what it is, we can certainly help. We have advisors almost in every state right now. So we're pretty well connected.
That's incredible, man. And the real question is that we need answers. When are you going to start that coffee and ice cream shop, dude?
I don't know. I've thought about it for a long time, but
I have coffee. I have coffee beans for you.
I mean,
I own my own.
Where? I mean,
Michigan. Yeah. Well,
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're sourced from around the world, but then we have a partner roaster.
That's awesome.
Air roasted coffee.
I love coffee.
Yeah. Have you ever had air roasted coffee?
I have no idea. Probably, maybe.
It's like the best. So like normal coffee, I'm going to nerdy real quick.
Yeah,
Normal coffee, massive roasting plant. They kind of stir it. And what happens is like a lot of the beans at the bottom get burnt.
Yeah.
A lot of the beans don't get mixed at the top. So they're green and they're not fully crisp. Well, air roasted coffee is literally almost like a popcorn machine.
Nice.
Where it pops the beans up and everything gets 100% evenly roasted.
Yeah.
And then it goes into a cooler and then we hand pick out all bad beans for every bag. So if there's a bean that didn't get roasted perfectly, then Taylor, who owns Cool Beans Coffee Brewery, they're a partner of the show or my podcast. And then we created a coffee blend called the Broadcast Brew, which is a low acid coffee blend.
Yeah, a lot of them are acidic.
Yeah. And so I had to stop drinking coffee like 3 years ago because I had such bad acid reflux. But then there was a low acid coffee at Trader Joe's and I tried it, I could drink it. And so then I partnered with Cool Beans Coffee Brewery, local Michigan, and we created like a low acid coffee.
That's awesome.
And it's like 50% Guatemalan, 50% Ethiopian, and acidity also matters, like where you source it and what climate is in and how long the coffee bean sits in the chair. There's like so many things that go into it.
Yeah.
So that's let me know because I can source you.
Yeah. I got 2 kids and I have no life.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much soccer, jiu-jitsu, taxi driver.
Boy, girl.
2 boys.
2 boys.
I love it. 8 and 5, but yeah,
Nice.
they're the priority. So opening up something else is probably a backseat for a little while.
Yeah. Well, I do agree with you. You said it before the show. Coffee's a need. Ice cream's a want.
Absolutely.
I'd argue they're both needs-ish. And I do think they play very well.
Yeah. No, coffee shops do fantastic, but there's a ton of competition right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
Tons of them.
Well, I think that's what you'd have to add. Adding the ice cream component gives you a chance. And I'll tell you this, if anyone's ever started a coffee shop, you must have a drive-through if you want to actually make profit. Like it is the number one way to, so there's coffee shops that go out. Have you ever seen a coffee shop that every time you go there is super busy, then it goes out of business? And you're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Because the person has been sitting there from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock about 1 cup of coffee.
Yep.
And so either you create a culture where you kind of like force people to leave and it's then people don't want to show up because they want to get there and work. And so like where coffee shops die is they have a full space with no revenue because it's like limited people come in, and where as a drive-through, if you can have better coffee than a Big B, a Starbucks, or a Tim Hortons, and you can tap into, especially like a business market, like if I'd ever start a coffee shop, I would do it in a business location and I would hand out vouchers to like 3,000 of the local businesses and then just create a new, but drive-through is the way that you're going to make any good revenue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you started one, location is so important.
It's huge.
So like, for example, if you could get, there's an office complex right there at 635 in the tollway here. If you could get into that ground location, it's 2 million square feet.
Dang.
That's a lot of businesses you could go advertise to.
Just right there.
If it's not, though, you got to be in front of a community or wherever they're building something new.
Yeah.
And then I don't know why, but you don't see any of them. There's one in Austin that does fantastic. They have like 1 day a week where they do breakfast tacos, and they're already made. And so they like, you buy a cup of coffee, you get a breakfast taco for $1. But they freaking kill it.
Yeah.
And then speed. Some of these coffee shops take so freaking long.
Yeah.
So if you had a way
lose
of
the
pushing
walk-ins,
out, like if you just want regular coffee,
done.
We got it made.
Right, and that's with the drive-through too. Like you would offer a limited like offering through the drive-through, so the drive-through would just be
a mocha frappuccino. Bullshit.
Yeah, you go inside. You can go inside for that, but if you want, so
that would be a sign. Anything other than these 4 things,
if you want a froofy drink, you're going inside.
You're in line 2. Obviously, you can wait,
dude. Well. Glad we solved the world's coffee shop problems. This is good. And thank you for coming on the show. Where can people find you? Like website, email?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
Creamer@7s.live. Email me, creamer@7s.live.
Perfect. And we will make sure that link's in the description of this video. Guys, thank you for watching this episode of the Be a Board of Advisors podcast. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Thank you.
Brother, thank you for coming on.
Appreciate it.
See ya. Peace.